Are you rolling? Okay, give me a clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. You're way better at that than my students.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's jump right in.
All right.
Guys, welcome back to Jacob V Weekly. We are asynchronous today. We are not going to be streaming this live because we are in an exciting, new to us space.
Yes.
We're here back with LUCIUS MCQUEEN in the Doorstop Studio. Doorstop. Just behind me here are some Caucasians selling tacos behind this window, and I love them, and I'm so excited about that. In about an hour, I'm going to be picking up Antonino's, my favorite spot to get takeout from around here, because it's a great place to eat in, but they do a great curbside. My wife gets the buffalo chicken pizza.
Well, what's so great about their curbside, just real fast?
It's just, it's...
Curb appeal?
They're good at it.
Yeah, they're fast.
They have spots for it. It's always on time. They don't forget things. It's packaged nice.
Yes.
It's not styrofoam. I work in North County, so I get a lot of styrofoam. It's the dark plastic, and I started doing it. They really upped their game with the takeout when COVID started. Last week, good. I didn't do a pod because I knew I was doing this with you eventually.
Yeah.
And also, we had a fundraiser for Caddyshack. Be sure to reach out to Caddyshack of New Hamel, Illinois. It's actually just Hamel, and I've been doing that for 3 years. So
it's Hamel, and you've been calling
it New Hamel for 3 years.
Dude, that's so funny.
I'm the best in maybe 4 years. It'll be.
It's always been and always will be Hamel.
It's
Illinois.
always just been Hamel.
Always Hamel.
And we keep calling it New Hamel out of reflex, because I don't write out that whole thing, because I wrote it. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Yeah. Fuck it.
And we raised thousands of dollars at the trivia fundraiser I did for them last week in Edwardsville to pay off all of their vet bills. So we've rescued over 2,000 cats. And
holy shit.
If you want to make a difference locally, that's a great way to do it. Or if you're abroad and you don't like the cats where you live, you could send the money here to the cats that Caddyshack vouches for, because they're all sweeties. Patreon.com/Jacob V is the only way to Patreon.com/Jacob V is the only way to support this show financially. Shout out to all the patrons. I really do this show for them. They are so steadfast. I have so few cancellations so infrequently.
That's so
sometimes
awesome.
A cousin's debit card will expire and they won't check it long enough to remember to put the new one in.
Yeah.
But that's usually the worst of it. We'll probably use this space to finish a project I'm working on. I'm doing several versions of my next single that I'm finally finishing. I just have to do final vocals, and then I have remixes and stuff kind of planned. That is something you could see a version of on Patreon also. No Antics. I'm in a band called No Antics.
No Antics.
We're coming everywhere in March.
Everywhere. Get your tarps out. They're coming everywhere.
We're going to be in Cleveland, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Madison, Lawrence, Kansas.
Holy shit.
Here in St. Louis at the Duck Room, where I saw Chuck Berry one time.
Fuck yeah.
We're doing all of that. Next opportunity.
Chuck Berry?
I saw Chuck Berry at the Duck Room.
Really?
Yeah. I was
like
front
not
row.
Playing or just like in the bathroom?
He was playing.
Oh, he's not in the bathroom. Okay.
No. He was in his CCTV village and just monitoring all. That's why they have so many bathrooms there, because he had all these cameras he didn't know what to do with.
Yeah.
I'll be there on March 2nd playing the Crystal Lady Birthday Bash. Check them out. I love them. That's a nice tradition in my group of friends, that show every year. So No Antics gets to do it. Really excited. Blinded by Stereo gets to open for Ludacris.
What?
At the Worldwide Technology Raceway, June 1st and 2nd. Just like how we did Flow Rider last year. This year it's Ludacris, baby.
Are you serious?
We're doing the NASCAR Expressway Extravaganza. That record is available on limited edition translucent blue vinyl tape.
Wow.
New EP is on the way from them. We still have some vocals and stuff to track for that. That's the hard part. That's the part that people have struggled living with, really, is vocal takes.
Yeah.
Clips are doing amazing. We had a TikTok about Carl Weathers that got like 7,000 hits.
It's Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers was the golfing coach in Billy Madison.
Yes.
The black guy.
Yes.
But we didn't even mention his name. It was just a clip of him talking about, you got a stew going.
You got a stew
and people love that.
People love that.
So
they love nostalgia.
Let me just knock out some of this early stuff here so we can get to talking about us.
Let's do it.
The STLPD keep wrecking cars.
What?
Oh, yeah. Third wreck. You heard about they ran into the gay bar.
Yes, I did hear that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is a big scandal that's still happening. And then you heard that same weekend they flipped one downtown. They flipped one of their SUVs downtown, flipped it.
God.
And then wreck number 3, I think, was it hit another vehicle. It's a different SUV each time, I think. I don't think the problem is the SUVs themselves.
Yeah, it's definitely the
But they could be top heavy. I don't know anything.
Have they just started their training on like aggressive driving?
I think it's
like
that
the
their vetting process excludes factors that could contribute to poor driving.
Yeah.
Is the most polite way I could say that. And I'm just a possibility. I'm just looking at the headlines.
On the Hill, there's so many possibilities.
Of all the goddamn... It's
a pun to stop all
when I see 3 wrecked police SUVs and then I get Gregory FX Daily in my inbox saying you owe me $64 from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
If I'm going to pay him, if I'm going to give Gregory FX Daily, who's the treasurer, you don't live in the city, so you don't know this man's face. He's great. He looks like if Bill Maher had a brother that sucked. And he's the reason I pay my 1% earnings tax, so I get stabbed in the neck on the Metrolink.
Interesting.
That's the whole shindig, baby.
That's it, baby.
But if I'm going to pay from one of my W-2s that I forgot to tell Gregory FX Daily about 3 years ago, if I'm going to give him that $65 that he thinks he's entitled to, I don't want to see my police wrecking their SUVs.
Yeah.
Even if they just flip it back over and it's kind of okay, there's, definitely more than $65 worth of damage.
If it goes 45 degrees off of its axis, that is.
I don't want them two-wheeling in my SUVs.
I don't want them two-wheeling in my SUVs.
If my big ass is in the back of that thing and you're two-wheeling it, honey, who's in a hurry? You're in that big of a hurry to get me to jail that you're going to two-wheel it?
Just, baby, give up.
Do you have AT&T?
I do.
Where's your
I internet here, but I have Verizon phone.
So your phone was fine yesterday.
My phone's fine, yeah.
I got a friend of mine, I think, has relations with somebody who works for them. And he was telling me that part of the problem is a new AI protocol they rolled out for as a part of their system update internally. That there's a lot of problems happening. One, there was a major outage, but also there was a lot of issues with their payroll. Like they double paid a bunch of retired people.
What?
And so there's a lady who didn't get a bonus, but whose job it is at AT&T to call retired AT&T people and say, can we have half of your payment back? Because you were only supposed to get half of it. And so that's happening right now. So AT&T, pray for them. You know what I mean? Keep them in your thoughts and blessings, because their robot sent a bunch of their money to a bunch of retired people that only needed some of it, not all of it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We will see what happens with those. Like, are we getting statistics back on like what those people are doing, those retired people with that money? Like, are they giving it back? They righting the wrong? Are they,
if it's anything like when we had to pay student loans again last year for like 2 seconds, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, if I retired from AT&T, even on good terms, I can't imagine a reality.
This is people that are retiring there at the end of their lives.
These people probably don't even know they got the money.
Student debt that's something completely different. That's government versus business.
I've always said that, yeah. And I like to use the word government.
Yeah.
So I played here once with my good friend Caroline, who performs as B. James now. She lives in Nashville. She's very gifted. She's fabulous.
That's cool.
And I showed up drunk here a couple of times because it was open and people I knew were here, and I was on my way home from somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's a great location.
Great location.
We're right here at Shaw and King Shyway.
Shaw and King's
That's going to be everyone's favorite part of the show, I think. So, and you maybe not super recently, but somewhat recently, got your degree in music production?
No, I'm 75% of the way there.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought, okay, I knew I did. That makes sense because we didn't have a graduation party.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a fucking.
It's gonna be. We gonna get turned. We're gonna roast a whole hog in the ground.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and since last time you were on the show, you dropped a new single.
Yes.
Which I enjoy a lot.
Yes. Thank you.
If it's not on my playlist for this month, it will be. It was definitely on the. We have a companion Spotify playlist for the show. Every month, I've made a new Spotify playlist every month.
Fuck yeah.
Since the show started.
Yes.
And those are all still available on Spotify. Jacob V's favorite songs, and that's where you could find. What's the song called?
Oops, I'm Too High.
Oops, I'm Too High. See, I always think it's I Got Too High, but then and then there's and then I Got High. By Afro Man. Any homage to the Afro Man?
I think it's the same sort of sentiment as far as like going about your day.
And then
no mark. Then I got high.
Right, that's the song.
So I think as far as like going throughout your day, but it's more about like you have a day off, like finally, maybe it's like a Monday or something.
But you ruin it because you gagged on a roach like a mule.
Yeah, just like a tiny little, or maybe just like a little hit from your pipe or a little baddie or something. And then
a little baddie
you
action.
Cough too much.
Yeah, and then it gets way down in your corpuscles.
Yeah, and then you're like,
down in your ribosomes.
I got another at least 4 or 5 hours to get this off, and by then it's 5.
Yeah,
like, fuck,
and then you think like, no matter what I eat or how much I sleep, I may not be right again today at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's just done.
Yeah. R.I.P.
R.I.P. to your day. So that's.
I thought you were saying your dick.
R.I.P.
to your dick. That'd be horrendous.
Yeah.
And so my thing is great opportunity here in the space, and especially like even people that don't necessarily require the engineering aspect of the thing, though I think that's obviously a valuable component.
It is,
is having the availability of the space. No Antics, we produce a lot of stuff ourselves with a lot of Molly's gear and whatnot, but the most essential of that gear is mobile enough. And there's benefits to a space like this that we don't have access to in our normal environment. Like when we record drums, we have to all be in one room together away from the drummer, and we have to kind of be quiet.
Yes.
And like and the drums on the new stuff that's dropping sounds better than anything we've ever done. But, just imagining like, even if I didn't need to hire just you specifically to engineer the thing,
right,
renting the space from you looks like
space is available. Yeah.
Especially when you're sitting here and like looking up at it. And it's just, I don't know. It's not huge, but it's a great vibe and a great location. And I would be multi-tracking stuff in here anyway, so I wouldn't have multiple people in here at a time. And it's bigger than a lot of rooms that I'm sure are a lot more expensive.
The sentiment really here, I think, is intimate. I think that's probably the best way to. You can really, I think.
I'm just insecure about how my gut looks.
Same. So that's why I have a nice big hoodie on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you look great. You honestly look great in that fucking jersey.
Thanks.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Somebody said something to me. I was at Sam's today getting 95 Diet Cokes. And how many Diet Cokes was it?
At least 30 packs?
It was 105.
105, yeah.
They're 35 packs. So it's 105 Diet Cokes.
Yeah.
And 2 bundles of Under Armour socks.
Yeah.
I'm always need socks.
Sounds like a great deal for the Under Armour socks. It's a good brand.
Yeah. And it was like $10 for 6 of them. 6 pairs.
Yeah, it's great.
So I got 2 of those.
Good savings.
And I got 105 Diet Cokes.
Yeah.
And and I got the hot pretzel.
Is that are you on a pallet driver? Are you on like one of those?
No, you know what though? When I walked into Sam's this morning, that's the first thing I did is I stood and I looked at the flatbeds and I said, no, because they're so low to the ground and the Diet Coke is stacked so high in the building that I don't have to bend down if I get a cart.
Oh, that's nice. You just like kind of
them. I have 101 Diet Cokes in my trunk right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to take a picture of that, please.
Yeah, that will be the picture for the episode probably.
Yeah. 101 Diet Cokes.
101 because I took 4 of them out. There's one of them. That's 102 right there. 103, 104, and 105 have been ingested.
Yeah.
And so also parking. Love the parking.
Yeah.
I parked right outside the door.
Right outside the door.
And again, the location for me, not having to go to the county to have a vibe like this. Like nobody knows we're in here.
I love that it's discreet.
It's quiet. It's discreet. It's secluded, but it's not a remote.
Yes.
I can jump right on 44 and escape immediately.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So like, just to be like more clear about like the vibe in here, and exactly like you rent. I'm just here to open the door if you rent the space, you know, and it's a great space to maybe you're working on something new to come in and like just get out of your normal routine and just set your own personal vibe, you know, and then spend a couple hours and work through it, you know.
That room over there behind the other window.
Yeah, like isolation room.
You would put like amps in there? Or a singer?
A singer, drum set, amps.
You could put a drum set in there comfortably, you think?
I was thinking even putting like a chairs in there and have it be like a isolation room for like sensory.
So like when people are like getting
fucking railed,
when you're
with
getting
sound,
piped out,
and you're like, I don't want that much sound. I'm gonna go in this room.
Yeah,
you know, sort of like chapel style.
Yeah. You do like a confession in there. You confess to what you're in the middle of.
Yeah. Like, wouldn't it be sick to have like it's like a viewing room? Like your band is in here practicing in the main room, and then your mom's in there.
With a big old tray of nuggets from Pretzel Boys.
Yeah. Or they go and get some pizza from.
You got to be careful. You're not diabetic.
No.
You got to be careful because those will spike your blood sugar. Those pretzel nuggets from the Pretzel Boys. And I think a lot about this because if I were to even eat whole like wheat, like in the wild, the fibers that contain the carbohydrates are spread out across the plant. Whereas when you mill that plant down into a fine powder, those carbohydrates are concentrated in such a way that I don't think still we've evolved to digest properly.
Yeah, that sounds about that tracks.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, it's like when I buy an ounce of shake, it comes in an envelope. But when I buy an ounce of flour, it comes in a big tube.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But really the only difference is the amount of air.
Interesting.
But if you have a refined bleached flour, all those carbohydrates, all the extra shit, all the dietary fiber, all the other stuff that's in wheatgrass, or not wheatgrass, just wheat,
wheat, the berries, the wheat berry that's taken out.
Yeah, they get rid of the berry.
You know what? You are speaking Jan Raleigh's language right now because she is into bread so hard and just like natural unbleached flour.
Oh yeah.
And stuff.
But here's the thing, the best flour is bleached.
Oh, but tasting?
Yeah.
Of course.
The most satisfying gluten you're ever going to have is exactly like that. But I'm saying
better.
White flour is to wheat what crack cocaine is to cocaine. It's like looking at the plant that cocaine comes from, and then looking at a crack rock and saying they're the same thing, and they're not. I could eat a whole cocaine plant and not crawl the side of a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, because the cocaine is fucking awesome,
and so then they concentrate it and they send it to Baltimore.
The trade-off is that you feel like you're dying.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, so I've heard. I have.
My dad. One time, I was in my backyard with Jeff and Zach and Toast, and we were chiefing a bowl, which I don't even think I knew how to inhale it properly. Like literally, like we were children.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, my mom had a feeling that she had to send my dad over to talk to us about drugs.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm high, even though really I just kind of like coughed on a puff of weed that I wasted that was a friend of mine's by trying to smoke it and not knowing how to smoke it. And then I go brush my teeth and my dad comes over and tells us all these horror stories from Lindbergh High School in the 80s, because that's where he was. And things like my buddy did a bump of cocaine at a party and his heart exploded.
That's insane.
So I've never snorted cocaine.
Yeah, I also cocaine for me seems like it would be medicine because of my ADHD.
That's the thing. It's like,
and
listen,
so I don't want medicine.
Somebody offered me.
I want an altered state of mind.
Somebody offered me a bump of cocaine in a bathroom of a venue recently, and I was like, "Oh no, but thank you, because I was just thinking, like, I don't want to do cocaine here.
No,
if I'm going to do cocaine, I have a floor that needs to be cleaned.
Exactly.
I have laundry.
I got things I got to do.
I have 6 months worth of laundry for 2 adult people that could get folded, Laramie.
I'm not wasting this on this moment.
Right. That's all I meant.
And I'm there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But what was that for? That metaphor? I forget.
That it's the crack cocaine
of the cocaine. Yeah, but what was that
wheat,
metaphor for?
The wheat.
Oh, the wheat.
White flour, like King Arthur flour or King James flour.
Yes.
That's King James is the Bible. It's got to be King Arthur.
Ooh,
Like a good, like a premium white flour.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. If we're talking about
compared to the plant of wheat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just.
I would love, because I would love to have somebody make that delicious. The wheat, the whole wheat part, because it's not delicious.
There are things that are whole grain or whatever that are good. Like, for example, I love Club crackers. The brand Club crackers, a buttery
butter flaky,
and they do a whole
crispy
grain version that's really not that much better, but it's better than the full blown, I guess. And I really can't tell the difference because I put peanut butter or chili or something.
See, I don't trust that. I don't trust
it.
I don't trust.
You don't. You're going to tell me that I'm wrong?
I'm just saying.
I wonder if that's the noise they don't like.
I don't think they've experienced that before. That's the thing, though.
They don't know me.
They don't know you. They didn't know me when I came in, and that's okay.
They probably think never mind. I was going to say they probably think we're like carpenters, and I'm like, no, they
just
don't.
Yelling.
Not me.
They do not. They do not think
those carpenters are fighting over there. They think I'm your.
I don't know. I'm sure they have some opinions from the guy who just opened up the fucking window.
Well, I wish they would say something.
I wish they would. Do you want to have? Oh, you're getting pizza delivered. And I was like, do you want to go?
I'm picking up pizza when I leave here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would totally smash a taco.
Yeah.
But so what we're talking about is Doorstop Studio, and you know what? I booked this appointment on the web portal, which was really easy to navigate.
It's a Square site. Yep.
It's a Square site.
Yep.
And then that's what mine is, jacobv.com by Squarespace. And so is there a URL I should be forwarding people to for you?
Yes, or just go to, you can find me on Instagram at doorstop-studio.square.site, and then my link is right there.
And talk to me about that. Is that...
It's because I don't have a Squarespace site, I just have a Square appointments.
Right, no, totally. Yeah.
So the...
Same family of products, though.
Yeah, because my girlfriend works at Square, so she would kill me if I didn't make the distinction between the two. So it's doorstop.studio? No, doorstop dash.
I probably got it right here.
I'm
sorry. I thought I was opening the iron carton.
I should know this. I should be prepared. That's just so new.
When's the last time I talked to you? We haven't even texted about this at all leading up to this. That's how good the site works. Permission to call it gay light.
Still granted.
Still granted.
Still absolutely granted.
Doorstop-studio.square I'm sorry. Doorstop. Cut that. Doorstop-studio.square.site. And I have to edit this fucking video. That's the only reason.
Want to do a clap?
Well, I could put it in there.
Perfect.
At the bottom when I say that is the thing. And not a sponsor, but well, I guess technically because we're here right now.
Yeah.
That this is what I say when I plug somebody else's stuff. Yes, and the address and everything's on there. I'm not going to say that out loud and whatnot. But you have a get together and figure it out appointment.
Yes. Which
is a free 30-minute appointment where you could figure out for people here in the space like what you want their project needs and whatnot.
What you might want to use it for. That
really helps a lot of people.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the space is inspiring. I mean, especially considering how hard it is around here to have a space like this in your home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I think those would be productive. And then rent the studio for rehearsals or I guess tracking.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you just want to
real anything goes kind of vibe. Can I get a couple glasses of milk?
You got to bring your milk, but
you got to bring your own milk.
Yeah, but it's
a BYOM.
Like if a band is having trouble finding a spot to have recurring rehearsals every week, like this is a great spot. Like I have my equipment here to use to
There's a
depending
upright
on
piano over there. There's a digital piano. There's drums. We have
amps.
a PA in here.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and you're not in here with 10 other bands that are playing at full volume.
No, you are the only
whatever.
band.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That would be the most attractive, like to me, with say No Antics, for example, is that like if we wanted to track something, or we would probably use it to shoot content in, probably most likely, and
I just did that recently.
That would be the number one thing because of the seclusion or the just again not being, because I love and use a lot of other kind of places for like rehearsal stuff or things like that, events and stuff, but a lot of times you're there with other people doing the same thing in the space, sometimes multiple floors of those people.
Yeah,
so if you're working on vocals or something, it's really hard to and I've played with a lot of when I played here in this space before, it was more delicate stuff that you don't want all that noise pollution. So I love that. We're podcasting here now. I didn't need to bring anything, but I did bring stuff.
Yes.
Just because I didn't want to come in empty-handed
because if it was helpful. Your first time then.
I like carrying that stuff around anyway. I like feeling like I'm doing something. I got that bag off Temu.
You did?
Not a sponsor. And
wow, how's your luck been with Temu? Temu, actually, by the way. Yeah.
Them sponsoring so much of the Super Bowl made me uncomfortable. It's got to be too expensive too quickly.
You know what?
Because I gave them like $30, and they sent me like a bag full of stuff.
See what got me was their tagline: "Spend like a billionaire."
Shop like a billionaire. Because I'll have one of these. I'll have one of these.
Yeah.
But they text me all the time now, which is a problem.
It's just like
I ran into a friend of mine.
Too much.
At a bar last night. I was hosting trivia at the Blue Wood. I was back after my 2-week absence, where baby brother filled in. We'll talk about that. And the motherfucking what were we saying?
The Blue Wood.
Yeah. Oh, but my friend told me, uninstall that from your phone, because they hit, in all of their terms of agreement or whatever, they have tons of shit about things they can access. And
oh, really?
Yeah. In your terms of agreement with them that you don't read, it's
See, I'm that type of person that like runs away from like when things are like real hot. Like hot topics.
Like everyone's going to Hot Topics, so I'm not going to go.
Yeah. Well, that was when I was a teenager, so I did absolutely go.
I went.
But now
that's where I got that
changed.
Ozzy Osbourne T-shirt I wear.
And no, but like with TikTok is really hard for me to kind of like be a part of, because it knows me so well. After a while, I'm like, fuck you, like stop mirroring myself back to me after a while. So I have to get off that.
Yeah, like I had to really do some work on my Twitter feed to clean it up.
Yeah.
Because it got to the point where it was mostly gay pornography.
Yeah. That's what all roads lead to, really, at the end of the day.
And I'm not saying that I didn't give the algorithm any reason to maybe open the floodgates of the gay pornography, but you follow one guy that's talking about his career on a podcast somewhere, and then all of a sudden it's so much gay pornography on X.
Yeah. Now, was that before X or after X?
It really got worse after he bought it, but it was still Twitter when I went in and cleaned it up.
Yeah. There's too many dicks.
We talked about that, I think.
Probably.
On the show, you and me.
Probably.
And Tim. Big Timmy.
Yeah.
Big Timmy style. And I don't think I've ever called him Timmy. I don't think I'm supposed to.
Yeah, well, you're fine, right, Tim?
Yeah, you're good.
You're good.
Wouldn't it be funny if he was in that room?
Yeah.
Eating like a bowl of ramen.
That would be
and he just had to
fun.
talk back. He pushed back like, I'm fine, guys.
Yeah.
That's not how he talks either. Who am I talking about?
Next time we have to bring Tim.
Well, yeah, but we didn't know.
No, this is
so. I mean,
you're fine, Tim.
Who knew what was going to happen?
It's fine, Tim. I love you.
Everything's great.
Yeah.
I'm in love with it.
Yeah.
But so podcasts, I mean, that's the thing too. I've known people to record episodes of their podcast at Waffle Houses.
Well, which is sick too. Like,
oh yeah,
get creative.
Yeah, but if you have like a specific, meetup you want to do for a podcast that's important for you. I mean, it's nice to have a nice, full, well lit, secluded space. I mean, that's the thing too. The lighting, I didn't have to bring any lights, thank God.
Well, it's a professional, I think, atmosphere. Like when you bring people in, that's what I've noticed.
Yeah, if I would, well, I don't know about the parking lot coming in. Well, if I wouldn't meet the governor here. Well, actually, I would. I think fuck him.
Let's just use professional loosely.
Yeah. No, but the interview space, absolutely. Like if I was going to sit down with Ron Paul.
No.
Or Rand Paul.
No, I'm talking professional, like serious. Like if you want to, I guess, let's go back to intimate. I think.
Well, unless you want to get uninterrupted. We're not
uninterrupted.
We're also not talking to people with our phone audio on the street, asking them what they ate for breakfast. Like, so like, you know, if you had a podcast where you wanted to do, you know, something more serious, or if you're shooting content where there's interview stuff.
I mean, this is great for interviews.
Yeah. My thing is the people I want to interview, I don't want to bring them to a nice place because I don't trust them in it.
I don't care. Just as a business owner?
Yeah, that's a green light. I'll bring my wet wipes. Because I really want to do like a docuseries about psychotic people I find here in St. Louis.
Bring them here.
This would be so good because I really don't want to bring them to my house.
Bring them here. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
It's insured.
And then I can get them a taco if they don't eat regularly or something.
Yeah, holy shit, that'd be so cool. Like that's what the space is about. Is about like doing the things that you wouldn't normally do.
This is actually a great segue into where I wanted this to go to, is because since you've been working in the city again, you've been really, you know, digging into amplifying, can I say queer voices or queer friendly events and stuff? Yeah. Is that mostly here that you're doing stuff like that?
Just wherever the opportunity is, I think. Yeah, wherever like life kind of takes me.
Are you doing an event here tomorrow?
No. There's
an event tomorrow.
There is an event tomorrow. No, tomorrow I just have an appointment for a
CAT scan.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to know whatever the real answer was. No, I thought I got invited to an event in your Queer Underground.
Queertown Underground.
Queertown Underground.
Yeah. The Queertown Underground is on Wednesdays. That's not my event. Let's go down the list of things. I do send out a lot of shit. And thank you for paying attention.
Well, that's the thing is it's just I want to make sure that you know. I think you operating in a professional or creative capacity this close to me, selfishly, is a really great opportunity. That you know,
don't be. It's not selfish.
But you know, I mean, but like
I do understand.
But and so like you know, if there all this stuff that you're doing that I don't get to make it to everything because I'm married and I work early in the morning. But like I just want to make sure I remember who's in charge of what.
I get it. Yeah.
And you do stuff at the Improv still?
I've kind of like stepped away a little bit, like maybe every once in a while.
Well, you're busy with this, I'm sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So, God, what were you saying before? Because I wanted to say something on that as well.
Interviewing crazy people here.
Interviewing crazy people. That we're definitely doing. But also I can't remember. It's gone. Mulligan.
That's my bad.
No.
One-on-one lessons?
Yeah.
You're doing that?
I'm doing lessons. Yeah.
I love that. Because really the only way to make that sustainable economically is to do it yourself.
Yep.
And so if you're already building out the infrastructure for receiving payments and setting appointments and stuff for other reasons, it only makes sense to offer that. And you're doing drums or guitar or bass?
Guitar, bass, piano.
Yeah.
Like even
it's a great location for that too. There's hardly any places to get decently priced lessons in the city. You have to go. I had tons of students in Kirkwood who were coming from the city because you know it's just. But also that kind of thing. I mean, it doesn't make it's not like lucrative to do on its own. Yeah,
and I will say that it's all ages. Like I think. And
that's been huge since the pandemic, that I think I want people to give themselves permission to take lessons at any age.
Yeah.
For any reason, with any level of experience.
With anything. If like, honestly, you could just call it like just one-on-one lessons of just like whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because I think vocals is really interesting. Like
you know what? And I ended up teaching a lot of vocal lessons. And the thing that I would always start with, especially if I was like subbing or if I wasn't like their normal person, was think of it more like a personal training appointment or a physical therapy appointment, even to where if we could just acknowledge that the cringy aspect of being alone with one person in a room and doing something physical like singing is worth it. You already signed up for that. Yeah. So to just kind of acknowledge and release the cringe early on, because you really have to connect with singing physically to progress and really identify those aspects of the instrument, because they're not as quantifiable.
And what I've found from taking that step and releasing the cringe on vocals and doing some lessons and stuff is that it's like helped me musically all around. Just sort of like, because
you're more physically connected to music in general. Yeah. Because
like you find the resonance within yourself.
Yeah. And you could feel and that's how you start to develop perfect pitch like I have. Because I did this morning. Every time the song changed on the PA system in the cafeteria, which is around the corner from my room, I'd walk over to the piano and try to hit exactly.
You just did that earlier.
The one.
Yeah.
You were listening to Carly Rae Jepsen. Yeah. And I walked over to the piano and it was an A. And I found that A.
Yeah.
Well, and I've been working on that because I didn't used to have that, and I used to.
That was a topic in one of my classes about like if you can nurture or ear training and stuff. Yeah,
because I thought the only way I was ever going to get to teach music professionally was to master that ear training thing. Yeah. But I kind of didn't pursue teaching music professionally earlier on because I felt like I wasn't good enough, and I felt like there was some kind of magical thing that other people had that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of stuck with it, and then it just, I kind of grew into it. Reference pitch is the biggest thing for me, is that if you hit something and I can tell that it's from a riff that I know already, then I can,
Yeah, like you're connecting dots instead of just like intuitively knowing, which is fucked up. No, like I'm saying the difference between working for it versus being born with it, which I find absolutely bonkers. Like that there are some people out there that have perfect pitch. Like, how do you even know? Like, what in your body is like saying like, that's the
thing.
Like that's
I don't believe that someone just feels a pitch and says, "Oh, that's a B flat." Like Kristen Chenoweth in the garage that one time. Was the car
James alarm? Jacob Collier.
Yeah, Jacob Collier. I don't like his accent either.
Yeah,
and
interesting.
Yeah, and his aesthetic. I'm like, if I was skinny and beautiful like that, I'd wear clothes that an adult should wear. Jacob. Yeah. How about that? How about that? I have a flat stomach and a beautiful face, and I'm going to wear sweatpants and slides.
Banana Republic.
Yeah. How about we go to Express? Because I can't shop there, and you can.
And I'm going to dress you up like a little doll.
You skinny fucker.
God damn it.
You little bitch.
You gangly. String bean.
He's handsome, man. I just wish he dressed like it. I have to dress like this.
It's fitting. You look beautiful.
It fits. That's why I have to dress like this.
I have to dress like this. I literally just called this my uniform today.
Just or have you been wearing that a lot? It's a little Antifa.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's just fair.
The hat makes it like an incognito Steve Zissou.
These are names I do not know.
Steve Zissou was Bill Murray, that Wes Anderson movie where they're on the boat and they all wear those red caps.
Yeah.
It's
that one.
Was that a gunshot? No, the broads are moving the chairs.
They're moving the chairs.
The Caucasian taco salesmen.
Rockstar Tacos.
Well, I didn't want to dox them.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
I just wanted to mention, I mean, we're promoting this business. They're going to know.
Yeah.
But because I called them Caucasian selling tacos earlier.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to dox them.
Yeah, no, that's great. You cut this out.
Great. And we're back. You are magical. Yeah. And you guys have guns out on the farm?
Typically. Yeah.
Because I am really pro Second Amendment, but in a very St. Louis way. My thing is, I don't identify with Second Amendment culture because they don't like, for example, people of color with guns, or what have you. But there are movements of those things in the social media, for example, we were talking about the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
I use more platforms more regularly now than I used to, because we have clips on YouTube Shorts and TikTok and Instagram Reels. And so I notice my algorithms in those places are very different. YouTube, and also their regulations are different. So there are things YouTube can show me that TikTok cannot or will not. For example, I see a lot of people of color, women, LGBTQA affiliates exercising their Second Amendment safely on YouTube a lot. And I get excited about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, St. Louis is kind of like, if you could be simultaneously ghetto and redneck at the same time, is a very St. Louis thing.
Ghetto and redneck at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I'm allowed to say those things.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm talking about me, so I could say this.
Sure.
But so that expresses the Second Amendment in a very specific way.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. That is very interesting. Yeah, because I feel like I would never bring a gun if I lived in the city. Like when I live in the city, like I don't want to bring a gun with me because I just don't like.
Because then you're automatically escalating it to that point.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's already there. But like in the country, it's really there, I think, for safety, just because of how I look and in that sort of sense, and that is also gun country. And
the assumption, I mean, the gun ownership per population is greater.
My threat raised when I moved out there versus when I was living.
You feel less safe there.
I feel less safe,
at least
there.
Ideologically or culturally.
Psychologically, but then also
because you go to that animals. Walmart and stuff. But that's immediately what I thought you were going to say. Is I mean,
I know.
If you encounter a
animal
of any kind that's not supposed to be there, it may be a necessary precaution.
Or
a necessary tool if they're like sick or something. Like the game warden may, preferred that animal isn't continuing to spread diseases. This is a crazy episode of this show, because we're just all over the place. We were talking about, did you hear about talk about local, what I want to do with the Catholic supply store of St. Louis and Old Vienna is a red hot Eucharist. You could help me with this.
Yes. Okay, what do we gotta do?
Because I think here's the thing, is culturally I want people like us to start to reclaim some aspects of Catholicism, not necessarily in a faith sense.
It's headed that way. I figure.
But that's the thing. It's like, and we talked about this some with Tim before, and that's part because not only is it the gay squad when we're but it's also the Catholic thing, and it's
fair.
You know what I mean? And then how specific that is, like culturally, because it's really the only reason that the generation before ours had any identity amongst themselves locally. Is like that's how we knew everybody. You know what I mean? From fish fries and school and church and whatnot. And it wasn't even really about church, it seems like, that often. I don't have tons of stories of my mom and her sisters going to mass with their parents.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was more so because that was, like where you guys went to school. And so one of the things I want to do is a red hot Eucharist.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're not flavoring Eucharist.
Yeah. Well, would you flavor the skin of Jesus Christ?
I'm sure it had a flavor. Is all I'm saying.
What would you think it was?
And if it's something we're selling so much of, what would get people in line for communion? Flavor.
Red hot Eucharist.
I don't think the problem is that too many people want to come to communion. I think it's the opposite.
Yeah.
And I think the pageantry is really nice. I think we should bring back regular Latin mass. I told Dee Dee from No Antics this the other day. I said, Dee Dee, there's one true God, and he speaks Latin.
And what did Dee Dee say?
He said, okay. We were in the middle of sound checking off Broadway.
Yeah.
And because this is one thing I refer to, is sometimes people do things in a way that I don't necessarily agree with, but they may look like me socially or ethnically or something, and whatever. It's like I went to school in the suburbs because I got kicked out of Catholic school here.
Yeah.
And but I notice what I refer to as Gentiles from the county. Which is like suburban Caucasians doing things that people of a higher order, like my Catholic ancestors, would never do. Things like dirt bikes in a cul-de-sac.
Dirt bikes in a cul-de-sac.
Letting their kids drive dirt bikes up and down the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, can't be doing that.
If you want to own a dirt bike, you need to own land that necessitates a dirt bike.
You got to put it on fucking dirt.
Buy you some dirt somewhere.
You got to put dirt bike on
Take the babies out to the field with the dirt that you own and let them. Otherwise, why? I mean, people that own a boat and don't even have anywhere to put it. What are we doing?
Yeah.
There's an RV in front of somebody's house on my street.
I mean, we know those are just
RV.
statement pieces, you know.
You're going to leave an RV?
Yeah.
On a one-way street
my grandparents
in Southampton?
My grandparents had an RV sitting outside their house in Omaha, Nebraska for like
in the driveway,
years.
though?
In the driveway.
No, that's okay, though.
Yeah.
They had
a
enough
pontoon boat.
They had, okay. See? So this is what I'm talking about. Gentiles from the county do things like, they just come at routines disrespectfully.
Yeah.
Is really what I refer to. And it's just a thing that just keeps coming up. Because I know a lot of really kind Lutheran people, but they feel like they have the magic red telephone direct line to Jesus. And I'm letting them know that's not what's real. That's not how we did it for thousands of years. There was a hierarchy. There was a chain of command. My mother will still say prayers in routine. She will say Hail Marys multiple times for specific reasons.
Yeah.
That is what it means to really be about some shit.
Yeah.
If you're standing on business,
to be like of faith.
If you're standing on business, you're not just talking to God when you're in your Prius at a red light.
No. Those are because those people are self-centered. That's
the thing. They're indulging in their me. Nothing about the traditions of what was the faith of my ancestors. We'll call it is like narcissistic to me. It's just nice to feel connected to the community that my former people were a part of and what they built their families and their communities around.
But that's the thing is that like people keep like adding on to and then it becomes a narcissistic
I just understand
situation.
Getting way into a belief structure or a faith and then needing it so bad that you feel like you have to change it to make it more like you. It's like, go do something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you're going to change.
Well, people.
But that being said, I do want to do a red hot Eucharist.
Yeah.
I don't want to change the fundamental architecture of anyone's belief structure. But I do think that if their mouth was burning when they went in for the hooch, they would savor the blood of the Lord a little deeper.
I'm just saying, like, why don't. Okay, this is already pre-patented right now, but why don't you just make a hot Eucharist and sell it
myself?
Yeah.
I don't do any of those things. I don't sell Eucharist. I don't red hot riplet things. But you're right.
Well, anybody out there who's listening to this who wants to red hot riplet,
this is just like the Lion's Choice sponsorship for this show that I've never gotten because I've never tried.
Yeah,
we talk about it a lot.
Yes,
but I really have no interest in communicating with anyone ever.
Yeah, except directly in front of them.
Except on a microphone.
Yeah,
we got two angles.
What if you got a producer to bring in a Lion's Choice manager to do a podcast, just like a random manager?
Like the shift manager?
Shift manager. Randall, yeah.
The shift lead?
Yeah.
I do like him.
Have you? Oh, you know.
Well, one time I asked for 2 King Turkey Swiss with extra seasoning for my wife. And they had no cheese and no seasoning. So I complained in the app. And then Randall called me and he put me in his notebook. And I came up there the next day and I got 2 free ones.
Oh, nice.
So
Randall coming through. So yeah, that's perfect.
And only because they were from my wife. Because I'm a dog. I'll eat anything.
Of course.
But you get my wife's order right.
You get my wife's order right.
I mean, I don't know what we're doing here. If I say cheese and extra seasoning and I get no cheese and no seasoning.
Listen, Randall, between you and me, I don't give a shit. But
Randall, it's not about me.
You did it to my wife.
Randall, I will eat the crock off of your foot right now. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck, but this is my wife.
But my wife's turkey and Swiss with extra seasoning? Oh.
How do you run out of seasoning?
They didn't run out. They just didn't do it. They didn't run out of the seasoning. The seasoning?
The seasoning?
The seasoning, Randall? No, I think that's the thing. I think we should lead in, not kidnap, but lure in a Lion's Choice employee under false pretenses, and then they're just doing an episode of this show with us here.
Yeah.
So coming soon, but that's the next thing is I haven't contacted the Catholic Supply Store St. Louis or Old Vienna directly, because that's the thing too. I wouldn't mind fronting it, like if they, if it had a shelf life of 10 months, I could sell, how many, but that's the thing, I don't know will Red Hot Riplet make me a spicy Eucharist is the question, because they could do it locally.
Well, I think that's the trial and error portion.
But like in an OEM capacity, if you make snacks in the greater St. Louis metropolitan area, go ahead and DM the show.
Yeah.
And I'd love to do a Red Hot Eucharist. And I could definitely sell it.
Yeah.
It's just getting it made. I could do everything for it, and except for making it physically. Like I could design packaging if I had to.
Yeah.
They would design probably the nutrition facts section in an OEM capacity like that. But that's the thing is I think culturally Catholicism could be a fun thing for queer creatives like us to play with.
Yes.
And I think they need the numbers. I don't think they're going to, give us any. I hope they cleaned it up over there.
I think they're in the midst of it. Maybe
they're still cleaning it up. I'm getting the TikTok ads.
How about the Pope and the fucking same-sex blessings? Huh?
That's what I'm saying. He gets it. He said, "Listen, if I'm going to hold on to any of this loot in the basement from the Roman Empire, we have to get more people in here." And some of those people are going to be gay, and some of those people used to be different people, and that's all right, because I have Nazi gold in the basement of the fucking Vatican, and if they foreclose on this land, we're fucked.
We're fucked.
That's the thing, and I'm hip, Daddy.
Yeah.
And I want to open the first Lion's Choice in the Vatican.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, everything's a business.
Everything's a brand. You got to be hustling and grinding.
Got to be hustling.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
No.
Get off your ass and make me a Red Hot Riplet Eucharist. We're trying to save the Vatican, you guys. If Italy forecloses on the Vatican,
fucked.
All of the fucking loot that the Romans plundered for 3,000 years is going to fucking be at an auction block on A&E. And I want the fucking IP. I want to produce that show. If we're doing it, if we are going to foreclose on the Vatican, I want to sell Nazi gold from the Vatican on A&E on Sunday afternoons from 4 to 5.
Is that Antiques Roadshow style?
Well, I'm thinking more like QVC.
Oh,
we do it live, and it's like straight out of the Vatican. What do we got? Hitler's 24 karat gold sarcophagus. We're going to start the bidding at $19 million. It's a falling auction. We're going to start at 19. Do I see 19? 19. The number is 314.
6.
Nazi Gold. Call 1-800-NAZI-GOLD and buy this fucking sarcophagus. The Vatican is belly up.
Belly up.
I need to rehome this 24 karat gold sarcophagus that was owned by Hitler.
If you want your salvation, you will take that phone.
Yeah. Did you hear they're closing a lot of Catholic churches locally?
Oh, yeah.
Just because and what they do is they disassemble it brick by brick and they sell the bricks on giant pallets to real estate developers and other markets.
When my grandfather died, their Catholic church closed down because he was funding most of it.
He was the main guy.
And
they said, we can't do it without Pete.
Can't do it without Bob. Yeah.
And I think about that because I work for a congregation. It's not Catholic, but I run their media on Sundays, and the population of members that sustains it is old. And they want it to grow and survive and whatnot, but it's a challenge to include and raise up a generation of people that are going to do that when it's not a generational institution and they're not really involved. I don't know. This is the thing I keep thinking about, though, is in a different version of reality, naturally in the history of my family and whatnot, clergy would have been an absolute calling for me, I'm sure. If there were less options.
Yeah.
And, really our time in our family histories was some of the most progressive and detracting, I think, from those traditions. And I don't necessarily think all of that was a good thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go back to, I don't want to live in a trad cath capacity, but it'd be really nice if I saw my friends and family and people I grew up with on a regular basis somewhere, if the community was held together by something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mostly I hold a community together with people that like the same things that I like.
Yeah.
And it's just not generational that way, usually.
It's not generational, and I'll give you this one. I don't want that ever.
What?
Like, if, like, I feel like I have too much, like, Catholic trauma to even, like...
No, that's the thing.
Like,
and that's... I don't even expect it for, myself. I don't feel welcome in those spaces at all.
Right.
But it would just be, if we're trying to look forward to an ideal version of our future, some of the elements of tradition that fueled community in a positive way, we're going to be searching for those, because we don't have those replacing the ones that we're losing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And that's why I would really like to help people get into music in that aspect.
Well, that's exactly where I was going, is that learning some kind of a skill, for example, an instrument that you could share with other people or participate in with other people. This beats the shit out of golf. I was in a band for a long time with guys that if they weren't playing with me every Thursday, they would have been racing RC cars or taking a boat out or something that is totally worth their time, especially if you have children and you're doing that with them. But if you don't have children and you don't have a boat, I don't know why the fuck you don't have a guitar.
Or a piano.
Or a drum. Just get one drum.
Just sing.
Start with one. Lift your voice in song, you rat bastard.
Go to my website, do the get together, figure it out. I got the website
right here.
And make an appointment, and let's talk and have a conversation, see,
doorstop-studio.square.site. I'm going to try to put it on the screen.
Yeah.
And jacobv.com. And patreon.com/JacobV, No Antics, Blinded by Stereo, Lucius McQueen. Doorstop. Is it Google?
It's getting verified right now. So it's not
in the process of that, because it said the former name when I mapped it.
I know.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I wanted to do this too early enough in the process that as things are getting up and going, people can start coming in here and doing stuff.
They can do it right now.
They can come right now. I book this through the same channels.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly the thing. It's like what I'm doing right now, you could do.
Yeah.
I dare you to come here and do one of these.
I dare you, man.
I dare you to get on doorstop-studio.square.site and get your fucking ass down here and do something like this. This couch was here. I didn't bring this couch.
I brought the couch. I brought the vibe.
And
the mise en scène.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to do a lot more of these
for sure. I'm already trying to figure out what we can do with these people you want to bring in to interview.
Oh yeah, because that's really the only thing right now is
because there's in the bathroom there's a shower that I'm cleaning up.
Good.
Like,
I don't want to make anybody live in here.
Oh, a shower is nice though. I'm just saying you want to bring somebody in who's like maybe
when I am about to lay down some theremin, I really like to be scrubbed up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If I'm going to come in something physical like that, if I'm going to play the didgeridoo, I really got to do tops and tails.
Absolutely.
I really got to get a fresh layer of deodorant on, and that's my whole thing.
Powdered, I think, And
I powder. I come out like a donut.
A donut.
I come out like a white frosted donut from the goddamn... Is that Hostess that does the donuts in a roll? I prefer the fudgy chocolate ones, but a powdered donut is how I like to feel when I'm coming in. If I'm doing some vocals, if I'm going to sing a song about sleeping in and ordering DoorDash or something, then I really got to be a clean powdered donut.
Clean powdered donut.
And this is the place to do it.
Right here.
Right here, where we are in this beautiful space. I gotta get some B-roll on my way out.
Yeah,
I gotta go get some
please.
Antheminos for the missus.
Yes.
Jacob V Weekly, Doorstop Studio. On the gram. At
the gram.
Doorstop
Studio STL.
STL. We love you.
Love you.
We'll be back. Honey. Send that one straight to Sony.